Hi everyone, my name is Sherish and I'll be talking to you today about all the lovely books that are going to be released from Lantana this autumn. We're going to make a start with this book here called Violet's Tempest by Ian Eagleton and Clara Anganuzzi. Now this is a book about a young girl called Violet. Violet goes back to school and the school are putting on a production of Shakespeare's Tempest, and Violet gets chosen to play the character of Ariel, who is a fairy. Now Violet thinks she's not going to do a great job of it, so she goes to speak to her nan and her uncles, who make her feel a little bit better about it. And when she does go up on stage, she has a bit of a stage fright, but she closes her eyes and she imagines seeing her family there, and it kind of boosts her confidence and makes her feel better. So the next book I'll be talking to you about is called The Wall and the Wild, and it's by Christina, Dendy and Rewse. And it's a book about a girl called Anna who likes to grow plants and flowers and make everything look pretty and organized. And what she does is when she starts growing things and they start growing, she likes to pick out all the ones that don't look perfect. She wants everything to look really nice and organized. So the ones that don't look perfect, she picks them out and she throws them over the wall. And what happens is that these seeds that she's thrown on the other side of the wall actually begin growing as well, and they get bigger and they get kind of more beautiful as time goes on. And what she realizes is that actually, even if they didn't look so pretty at the beginning, when they grow they'll be just as nice. And I think it teaches her and the people reading the book that actually, even if things aren't so perfect, it doesn't mean you just kind of throw them away. You have to kind of learn to grow and learn to kind of love them just as much. And I think she really does learn that lesson, and she begins to appreciate everything. This book is going to be released on the 16th of September, and again it is suitable for readers from about 3 to 7 and enjoyable for even the adults reading it. Okay, so the next book I'll be talking to you about is called SuperJoe Does Not Do Cuddles, which is by Michael Catchpool and Emma Proctor, and it will be released on the 23rd of September. It is for readers aged 3 to 6, and it is definitely something that my son enjoyed reading when I read it to him, because he likes doing what SuperJoe does, which is becoming a superhero and going around and saving the world, going on all these adventures and rescuing people, and kind of being the superhero. And you know, what more can a little boy want? What he doesn't want though is cuddles from mummy, and he feels that the cuddles are going to make him seem like he's not strong and powerful enough. He does have a friend who he plays with, who plays Grey Shadow, so she is the villain, and he is the superhero, and they have a great time role-playing, which is exactly what children like doing. And I think that's why I really enjoyed it, because it definitely reminded me of my son, who loves being a superhero. Okay, so the next book that I'm going to be talking to you about is My Mindful A2 Zen, which is by Krina Patel-Sage, and it will be released on the 7th of October, and it has 26 wellbeing haikus for happy little minds. So what this book is, basically, it goes through the alphabet A to Z, and it gives you ways that you could make yourself feel a little bit more relaxed, kind of like look after yourself, look after your health, look after your mental well-being. It's inspired by the NHS 5 Ways to Wellbeing, where Krina just talks about the different ways that you can make yourself feel better and look after yourself, look after your physical and mental health on a day-to-day basis. I know when we think about well-being and mental health, we think about yoga and doing Om and all the Zen and all kind of like things that you expect. However, we forget that our normal day-to-day things like running, dancing, playing outside, being nice to each other, sharing your things that children do anyway, encouraging them to do it even more, and how that can make them feel better, how that can make them feel relaxed, and kind of look after themselves mentally. Now, what I really enjoyed about this book is that it's got something in here that every child can and probably does on a daily basis, and it's encouraging them to think about it even more. So it's very inclusive of all different types of children, and it makes them feel like they could, you know, take part in this as well. So I really enjoy the drawings, which are also by Krina actually, and just looking through how colourful it is, and it goes through every alphabet. I mean, it teaches them the alphabet as well if that's what they're doing, because it is for readers aged 3 to 6, and that is what they're going to be into at the moment. And so I just think it's a lovely little book, and I would happily read this to my child over and over again to remind them of all the things that they could be doing to make them feel more peaceful. Okay, and finally, the last book that I'll be talking to you about is called The Queen on Our Corner, and this book is written by an award-winning author, Lucy Christopher, and Nia Tudor. It will be released on the 21st of October. Now, this book really resonated with me because it is definitely something that I know when I go out for walks and we see homeless people. Sometimes my 4-year-old son does ask me questions about the homeless people, and I like having those conversations and just being honest about what could have happened. And I think this book really does put it into perspective and really kind of makes it accessible for young children to understand that there are some people who are not fortunate as others and have a home. However, the homeless people are normal people, and they should be taken care of. They should be looked after, and if that means looking after them, if that means that we have to look after them, then we should do. And I think it really does make that quite clear, and it's just really lovely that this homeless woman is seen as the queen in this story, that looks out for the community, that looks out for the town and kind of cares for them, and in return they do something lovely for her where they build a house for her, and she's kind of shown the appreciation that she deserves. It's really lovely in terms of the color and the drawings, and again suitable for readers aged 3 to 6, and definitely something that I enjoy reading.